After the Battle of Uhud, the situation in Medina became very tense. The enemies of Islam, including certain Jewish tribes, hypocrites, and the Quraysh, started to feel more confident. They believed that the Muslims had become weak and could be defeated. Among these groups was the tribe of Banu Nadir. They had a peace agreement with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But in reality, they were filled with hatred and jealousy. They were not known for open battle. Instead, they preferred secret plans, deception, and betrayal. Earlier, when another Jewish tribe was expelled and one of their leaders was killed, Banu Nadir became fearful and stayed quiet for some time. However, after Uhud, their courage returned. They began openly showing hostility. They made secret alliances with the enemies of Islam in Mecca. They also supported the hypocrites inside Medina. Despite all this, the Prophet, peace be upon him, remained patient. He knew about their actions, but he did not rush into conflict. Then, an important incident took place. Two men from another tribe were accidentally killed by a Muslim companion. According to the agreement, Banu Nadir were required to help pay the blood money. So, the Prophet, peace be upon him, went to Banu Nadir with some of his companions to discuss this matter. They welcomed him politely and said, "Stay here, and we will arrange what is needed." The Prophet, peace be upon him, sat near a wall, waiting for their response. His companions were also nearby. But behind the scenes, something dangerous was happening. The leaders of Banu Nadir gathered privately. Instead of fulfilling their agreement, they started planning something evil. They said to each other, "This is the perfect opportunity. Who will go up and drop a heavy stone on him and kill him?" One man agreed to carry out this attack. At that moment, it seemed like the plan would succeed. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was sitting close to the wall, completely unaware of what they were planning. But nothing escapes the knowledge of God. Before the plan could be executed, the Prophet, peace be upon him, was informed of the danger through divine revelation. Immediately, he stood up and left the place quietly, without creating panic. His companions were surprised. They did not understand why he suddenly left. So they followed him back to Medina. When they reached there, the Prophet, peace be upon him, informed them about the plot. Now everything became clear. This was not just a small incident. It was a direct attempt to assassinate the Prophet, peace be upon him, and a clear violation of their agreement. This marked a turning point. The patience shown until now was about to change into decisive action. What happens when betrayal turns into open defiance, and a secret plot becomes a full-scale confrontation? This is the moment when Banu Nadir made their final decision and faced the consequences. After receiving the order to leave Medina, the tribe of Banu Nadir had no real option but exile. At first, they began preparing to leave. But then, everything changed. Abdullah ibn Ubay, the leader of the hypocrites, sent them a message. He told them, "Do not leave your homes. Stay strong. I will support you with 2,000 fighters. We will enter your fortresses and defend you. If you are forced to leave, we will leave with you. And if you are attacked, we will fight alongside you." He also claimed that their allies would support them. This message gave Banu Nadir false confidence. They decided to stay and resist instead of leaving peacefully. Their leader believed that this promise would be fulfilled. So they sent a reply to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, saying, "We will not leave. Do whatever you want." This was a clear act of defiance. At that time, the situation for the Muslims was extremely sensitive. They were already facing threats from multiple sides. Two recent incidents had deeply shaken the community. And now, a powerful group inside Medina was refusing orders and preparing for conflict. Despite all risks, the Muslims made a firm decision. This was no longer just about politics. This was about betrayal, broken agreements, and an assassination attempt. The Prophet, peace be upon him, prepared for action. He appointed a companion to manage Medina in his absence, and then marched toward the area of Banu Nadir with his companions. Upon arrival, the Muslims laid siege to their strongholds. Banu Nadir took refuge inside their fortresses. From behind their walls, they began shooting arrows and throwing stones. Their palm gardens acted as a natural shield, making it difficult to approach. So, a strategic decision was made. Some of the trees were cut down and burned to remove their cover. Meanwhile, the promises they relied on began to collapse. Their allies did not come. Abdullah ibn Ubay did not show up. Other tribes also stayed away. They were left completely alone. The siege did not last long. Within days, fear entered their hearts. Their confidence broke. They realized that no help was coming. Finally, they agreed to surrender. They sent a message saying they were ready to leave Medina. Their request was accepted under one condition. They could take whatever belongings they could carry on their camels, except weapons. So they surrendered. And then something unusual happened. They began destroying their own homes. They removed doors, windows, and even wooden beams from the roofs. They loaded everything onto their camels. With their families and belongings, they left Medina. Most of them went toward Khaybar. Some moved toward Syria. Only a few individuals accepted Islam and stayed behind. This event took place in the 4th year after migration. It was not just a military outcome. It was a powerful lesson. A lesson about broken promises, false alliances, and the consequences of betrayal.